As we continue our summer speaker series, I'm delighted to invite our member, Joshua Seeger, to share some words of Torah with us this evening. Just hold on to it.
Matovu, so nice to be with all of you and all of those who are joining our service remotely from afar. Thank you, Rabbi Heath, for inviting me, giving me the honor of delivering a Devar Torah tonight. And thanks mostly to my lovely wife, Judith, who's sitting back there, whose love and encouragement and support is behind everything I do. Devar Torah, Shoftim, Judges, beginning with Deuteronomy 16:18. And just 2 verses down, we find the 3rd verse there. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, l'mahan tichye v'yirashta et haaretz, asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach. Justice, justice shall you pursue, that you may thrive and occupy the land that the eternal your God is giving you. Why the repetition? Our rabbis teach us there are no unnecessary words in the Torah. In 18th century Poland, Rabbi Simcha Bunim suggested that it was that in the pursuit of justice, one must employ only just means. Others say it's just for emphasis. I have my own idea. So imagine a teenage version of myself arguing with my mother, and she makes it very clear that to be a good person, it's not enough to merely do no harm. And forever after and to this day, she encourages me to pursue opportunities for social action. So I put a colon after the first tzedek, like this. Justice. Justice shall you pursue. That is, actively. And as we know, these yellow bracelets, everybody, what Micah actually said was, "You have been told, O mortal, what is good, and what God requires of you, only to do justice and to love goodness and walk modestly with your God." So recently, I was looking for a new way for me as an individual, not being a judge nor a lawyer, how I could do justice. And I happened upon the webpage of Beth Amen, and there Mel Kronik had posted an opportunity to volunteer at All 5, a preschool in East Menlo Park. So Mel was representing the Equal Start Social Action Initiative, and I wanted to know more about this because I was already aware of the longitudinal studies in economic research validating the lifelong impact of early childhood education, especially in narrowing the gap between rich and poor. Equal access to early childhood education is clearly a matter of justice. Despite a substantial return on investment that's been validated, funding shortfalls and low pay for qualified staff stand in the way. Now, I didn't know what I could do at a preschool, but knowing all this, I reached out to Mel. And Mel immediately connected me with Lena Prusesky, Development and Communications and Development Manager at All 5. Lena is here with us tonight. And I got a tour. So we're walking around the campus of all five, and I'm looking, okay, what kinds of things do you need here? Maybe help with the web page, or, do some administrative support, or, help out with the library, lots of books there. And I said to Lena, what do you need the most? And I was directed at a couple of adjacent classrooms and a shared playground, hosting 2 groups of children. One group, the talking toddlers, ages 2 to 3, and the other group, the wobbly walkers, ages 1 to 2. This is what we need the most. So I said, no matter what, this may be the opportunity for me as an individual to do justice. And for the last 13 months, I've been a full participant in early childhood education, and let me tell you, it's been transformative. So what do? I spend several hours a week playing up close and personal with these children. With these children. I show up, and they come running to me and calling me by my name. They Teacher Joshua. Yeah, a lot of them can say that. And I know every single one of them by name. They immediately want to show me what they've been doing. And they often take my hand to lead me to what they want to do next. And I'm immediately immersed in play, crafts, reading together, exploring nature, and love. So how is this education? My good friend Jeff Berman, sitting back there somewhere, when I told him what I was doing, he said, so what, you have a curriculum? And at first I laughed too, but the truth is that even with kids this age, there are so many opportunities during the day to teach. So, now, after doing this for a while, I have my own list of learning areas. This is my outline for my curriculum at all five. It starts with love, comfort, respect, trust, and protection. And this one's reciprocal. I'll tell you stories about some of these in just a bit. Action and reaction. When I push this here, what happens over there? Or when I push my classmate, what happens? Consequences and empathy go along with that. We have a lot of altercations, and there's always some comforting required after that, which I do a bit of. Cooperation and collaboration. Finding ways for these little ones to work together to accomplish something that neither one of them could do alone. Routine. Good habits. When we clean up, you have to know where things go. And there are things all over the floor, and there are so many places for them to go, and they learn them. So they have organizational skills. And now I was a mathematician. So of course, math and science appeal to me. And there's so many things, so many aspects to that. Spatial reasoning, shape and size differentiation, quantification, many, few, more or less, bigger, smaller. Outside, we encounter nature, and there's perception of nature, little creepy crawly things that we find, that we look for and find, and the environment in general, and astronomy. So lately we've been learning about the sun and the planets that orbit the sun and what it means to orbit. We did a little orbiting exercise, learning about walking on the outside of the circle versus not stepping into the inside. These are concepts. Communication, of course, vocabulary, always opportunities to teach new words, and we're pretty much bilingual. Yeah, a lot of Spanish there. And I'm having to pick it up. I did know a little at one time. Music. So I have the good fortune of being a bit of a musician. And so I sing with them, I sing to them, I play on an instrument for them, and we explore the different aspects of music. Frequencies, higher, lower, louder, softer, faster, slower, and melody versus lyrics. So, you know, you learn the lyrics to a tune and it tells you about certain gestures, things you're supposed to be doing with your hands and your feet and your whole body. And you know what? When you take away the words and just play the melody, they still know what to do. Just amazing. So all of it is play. And I have to tell you that while I'm playing with these children, I'm reclaiming my own sense of play. It is so easy to be there where you are 100% accepted in anything you do. I turn silly and I have fun and I play right along with them no matter what it is they want to do. So here's a little story, something that happened very recently. We sit down on the floor inside. I mean, I always strive to be at their level and communicate more directly with them, and I'm on the floor. And I'm realizing I've been on the floor for a while. And getting down is a lot easier than getting up. And my hand is here, down on the floor. And suddenly I feel a little hand on top of it. And I look down and I see this precious little face that in previous instances has been kind of devilish, but she is signaling with her eyes, it's time to get up, and I'm going to help you. Now, of course, she couldn't, but the inspiration I got from that gesture was just knocked me over. So I told you I do play music for them on my bassoon, something that they probably would never have seen if it wasn't for me. And I like to get them involved in it. Of course, you know, I play the songs that they can dance along with or do gestures to, and they do. But they want to touch it. They want to put their hands all over those shiny keys. Well, so one at a time, and often with the help of the staff, to hold them back, I point to one key so that they can see, oh, when I press this key, it changes the note that's coming out of the instrument. And some of them do it hesitantly, and some of them do it with such energy and play so fast, and it's like they're playing the instrument, and they love it. They keep wanting another turn. I also let them put their hands over the bell of the instrument, where the air sometimes only comes out when you're playing the lowest notes, and they can feel. They can feel the air coming out, they can feel the vibrations, and they want to do that too. So I talked about altercations. There was one that I was involved in, actually, and it was an accident. We were on the floor for circle time. This is what we do just before going outside, after playing for a while after breakfast. We sit down for circle time, and I'm sitting with my head next to a low shelving unit. And a little further down on that shelving unit is a boy, they're all one of my favorites. And he was playing with a wooden car. little toy wooden car, zooming it along the top of this shelf until it landed right there. And at first I was a little bit shocked and angry because it hurt. But immediately I saw the opportunity. And I brought him over to myself, and I just held him gently by the shoulders, and we talked about, well, this thing that you did, I know you didn't mean it, but you gave me an owie. And, you know, a little lesson in empathy and also about consequences. I don't want to take too much time, but I will tell you that a lot of what I do is observation of this staff. And one day, around the Halloween time, when the room was decorated with pumpkins, they're not just for holding and touching and rolling around. This staff person decided we are going to make a pumpkin pie. And she had 5 or 6 kids around her, and they cut open this pumpkin, and they put their hands inside, and they scooped out the flesh and added other ingredients, and this became a pumpkin pie that got baked in the office and brought back for dessert. Wonderful. All right, so what about these staff people? Another major aspect of this for me is working side by side with professional teachers. I have so much admiration for them. They're so underpaid, so underappreciated. But their knowledge, skill, passion, and dedication in the value they provide is just remarkable. They inspire me to give even more of my time and effort in assisting them, making their lives at all 5 just a little bit easier for them to take a break. We have to maintain a ratio of 1 to 4 throughout the time that they are there. And when I'm there, it's easier to maintain that ratio so somebody else can take a break. You know, every day we are all subjected to such bad news. About poverty, housing, energy change, climate change, healthcare, education, war, and more wars. While I'm there, it's a respite. I can actually forget about what's going on out in the world, just for that short time that I'm there. But these are all our children. And they'll all, at some point soon, have to face these challenges in their own lives. Therefore, where best to invest my time, energy, creativity, and yes, wealth in my remaining years to help ensure they have the best possible preparation and likelihood of success. In this month of Elul, when Teshuvah is primary, I'm living my ethical transformation via the gift of doing justice through early childhood education. Shabbat Shalom. I will be here for a few minutes after the service, and Lena, who I introduced earlier, Lena Prasesky, she's the Communications and Development Manager at All 5, so she can answer your questions about the school. And I think there are other members of the Equal Start Social Action Initiative here as well. So if you can find them, you can talk to them too. But that's my Devar Torah.
Joshua, thank you so much. Yashar.
Thank you.
Lena, will you just give a wave so we know where you are? Okay.